and welcome to Behind the Spires, the official podcast of the City of Frederick. I'm Molly, here with Sam, and we're members of the city's public affairs team. Each week, we join you to bring clear, factual updates directly from city meetings, departments, and official sources.
In 15 minutes or less, we cover what you missed, what's happening right now, and what's coming up next, so you can stay informed about your local government without having to sit through every meeting.
Clear, direct, straight from the city. And you'll find links to everything we mentioned in the episode description. So let's begin. Here's what you missed. The City Council approved a $1.69 million contract to rebuild the Hill Street Skate Park, replacing the current facility built in 2004 with a new concrete skate park designed to better serve Frederick's skating community. Construction is expected to take about 8 months. Lighting upgrades were also approved for McCurdy Field and Lotes Field, improving visibility and energy efficiency at both athletic facilities.
And speaking of McCurdy Field, the city recently completed major renovations at this historic athletic facility. Improvements included laser grading of the field, installation of nearly 97,000 square feet of Kentucky bluegrass sod, and a new irrigation system, and upgraded spectator seating. Future improvements will include the LED lighting upgrades and additional infrastructure improvements to support long-term community use. The City Council also adopted several property tax measures, including updates to the Disabled Veterans Property Tax Credit, a tax credit for surviving spouses of fallen emergency workers, and a new tax credit for up to $10,000 per year for improvements used exclusively as licensed daycare centers.
And recently, City Council and city staff discussed several major policy topics, including a potential shift to form-based code zoning, the draft Climate and Energy Action Plan, and a proposed City Values Act. Form-based code would change how zoning is written by focusing more on how buildings relate to streets and public spaces rather than separating land uses the way traditional zoning does. The draft Climate and Energy Action Plan, developed with Frederick County, focuses on reducing emissions and strengthening climate resilience across the community. And finally, the proposed City Values Act, introduced by Council President Cesar Diaz, would outline how city departments respond to federal civil immigration enforcement requests. These proposals will all return to public meetings, so stay tuned for updates. Now that's what you missed. Here's what's happening now with Sam, starting with an update from the Frederick Police Department.
Recently, the Frederick Police Department shared an important update in the decades-old homicide investigation. Using modern forensic DNA analysis, detectives identified Calvin Ziegler as the person responsible for the 1988 homicide of Dolores Marie Thompson. She went by the name of Muda. She was found deceased in her South Market Street apartment on February 1st, 1988. At the time of the original investigation, DNA testing was still in its infancy, and investigators were unable to develop a usable profile from all of the evidence available. In 2025, investigators re-examined the case using updated forensic techniques. During that review, crime scene specialist Sabrina Swan identified a previously untested section of bedding that produced a DNA profile. That profile matched Ziegler through the National CODIS database. Unfortunately, Ziegler died in 2010, meaning criminal charges cannot be filed against him. But the Frederick County State's Attorney's Office confirmed the evidence supports identifying him as the person responsible.
Wow. For the victim's family and friends, this development provides long-awaited answers after more than 3 decades. The Frederick Police Department extended its deepest sympathy to the Thompson family.
The Frederick Police Department is also renewing its request for important information in another long-standing case. This past week marked 37 years since the murder of 17-year-old Tracy Kirkpatrick, who was working alone at the Eileen Ladies Sportswear in the Westridge Shopping Center on Route 40. On March 15, 1989, a security guard discovered her inside the store later that evening, and investigators determined early in the case that robbery did not appear to be the motive.
Over the decades, detectives have continued reviewing the case and re-examining evidence using new forensic technology. Several individuals of interest have been ruled out through DNA testing, but the case remains unsolved. Investigators believe there may still be people who have information about what happened that night.
Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Frederick Police Department or submit a tip anonymously through the Metro Crime Stoppers. Even the smallest detail could help move this investigation forward.
Absolutely.
And before we wrap up, just a quick public safety update. We are seeing some really encouraging trends here in the city of Frederick. Robberies and motor vehicle thefts are down, and I am very happy to report that we had 0 homicides in 2025. That's something that we do not take lightly, and it speaks to the commitment of our officers and our community, which we will have more in our annual report, which is coming out next week.
That's incredible news coming from the Frederick Police Department. Sam, do you have any tips for people on how to stay safe in the city?
Absolutely. Our number one tip is make sure you are locking your vehicles. We are seeing theft from motor vehicles are still on the rise, and 70% of those cases, the vehicle was unlocked.
So that's an important update. Lock your cars.
Yes, absolutely.
And now for some planning updates. At the most recent hearing, the Planning Commission approved updates to the city's accessory dwelling unit, or ADU, regulations. Now, ADUs are smaller secondary homes, such as basement apartments or backyard cottages. The proposal will now move to City Council for review.
Along the Golden Mile, the city's Planning Commission approved plans to convert the former Joann Fabrics building into a floor and decor store, including a 7,500 square foot expansion. At Costco on Monocacy Boulevard, commissioners approved an expansion, adding nearly 6,000 square feet to the store, along with changes to parking requirements.
I know people are excited about that.
Oh, absolutely.
At Westridge Square, the commission also approved plans to redevelop part of the shopping center property to include 119 multifamily housing units while keeping existing businesses in place. So that's what's happening. And Sam, here's what's next.
Frederick's USA 250 celebrations continue, with several community events highlighting the people, the stories, and the history that shaped Frederick and the nation.
Now, on April 4th, the Rec Fest returns to Baker Park from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. with family activities, recreation program showcases, DJ Lazy River, Touch a Truck, food trucks, and the Baker Park Egg Hunt.
Love the Egg Hunt.
Yes.
On April 12th, a free historical concert titled Music of the Regiment will take place at the Evangelical Reformed United Church of Christ at 2:30 p.m., exploring the music of the American Revolution and the Yorktown Campaign.
Now, on April 18th, the community will gather for the Frederick County Lynching Memorial Marker dedication. It's going to be at 10 a.m. on Carroll Creek, and it'll be honoring the lives of James Carroll, John Biggis, and James Bowens.
Also on April 18th, the city will host its Earth Day celebration at Baker Park, featuring sustainability activities, demonstrations, and community partners focused on environmental stewardship.
And that's not all. On April 26th, Carroll Creek will host the America 250 History Fair, a walk-through history event highlighting Frederick County's role in the founding of the United States. And mark your calendars in May, Frederick will see the return of the Maryland Craft Beer Festival, which will take place along Carroll Creek on May 9th. Look out for a special limited edition USA 250 Hefeweizen.
You can explore the full schedule of USA 250 events at frederickmd.gov/USA 250. Links are in the episode description.
And before we wrap up, a quick local shout out.
Congratulations to the Hood College men's basketball team, which advanced to the NCAA Division III Sweet 16, marking one of the most successful seasons in the program's history.
The Blazers' tournament run included wins in the first and second rounds before their season concluded against Trinity College in the national round of 16.
Congratulations to the players, the coaches, and the entire Hood College community on an incredible season.
Absolutely. Now that's your update, what you missed, what's happening, and what's next. For full details and official information, visit cityoffrederickmd.gov. Thanks for listening to Behind the Spires.
We'll see you next time.